If I ever do a midnight screen like this ever again where I have to stay up till 5 a.m. to finish the written review, it'll be too damn soon. But I'm going to push on with this video review because this film, Man of Steel, has reignited my hope for the Superman film franchise because this is a film I really, really liked a lot. Now this is a Superman that is reinvented for more of a modern era. It has more serious, more grounded, realistic style to it with still fantastical elements in it. I think Zack Snyder, David Goyer, and Christopher Nolan put together a fantastic package here. At the head of it is Henry Cavill, which is the big question. Is he really Superman? Does he really become the character? Does he become this icon? And he doesn't get the inspiring magic that Christopher Reeve had is something that I don't think can be perfectly recaptured by anyone, but he has his own style, his own strengths. He exudes so much power on the screen. When he's in that suit, he's got those genuine, authentic muscles, that physique. He exudes power whenever he's on screen, and that is a great feeling to have for Superman. And as Clark, as both Clark as Superman, he has this honest sense of hope, this sincerity, this genuine quality to him that feels grounded, but also has this inspiring quality to him that it just feels like this is a Superman that you can get behind, that you can feel that this guy is going to push forward and he's going to reach greater heights. I mean, the film has him going on this journey trying to find his place in the world, find his purpose, find out who he wants to be. And it has this great stuff between you get jor-el in there, who like in the original Donner film and everything, he appears to Clark as this projection, this kind of echo of who he was to Kryptonian technology. So you got those similar elements, but Russell Crowe does a great jor-el, Kevin Costner does a great Jonathan Kent, but I do kind of wish that, because all the Jonathan Kent stuff, all the stuff that shows the childhood of Clark growing up is done in flashbacks, and I think the film might have worked a little better if that was told in a linear fashion, because I don't think there was quite enough build up to that moment where he discovers where he came from and he gets the suit and he just has this debut, this reveal of him in the suit and all this kind of stuff. He kind of dons the suit in like the first 35 minutes of the film, so I didn't feel there was quite enough build up to that we didn't feel like we were going on that emotional journey of discovery with Clark, because it did all these flashbacks instead of following a linear structure. But I think they still did a fantastic job of that kind of stuff. Kevin Costner is a fantastic, great, heartfelt, emotional Jonathan Kent, who just has a complex feeling to him that he's very protective of Clark, but he also has this underlying feeling that he can aspire to greatness. Same as jor-el, but there are two different types of fathers that I think both actors do a fantastic job with. But Henry Cavill he gives this honest sincerity and sense of hope that really penetrates the screen for me. And there was him and Amy Adams, who portrays Lois Lane. I think they create a very interesting new mythos between the characters, because it doesn't, when you go in this film, you gotta kind of put away all the traditional, all the classic preconceptions of how the Superman story is structured and builds up, and all these characters interweave with things, because it's much more of a thing where Lois and Clark connect on a much more serious, more honest level. There's not a lot of deceptions, not a lot of hiding things, whatnot. It's more of a gradual building of trust between them. And it's a great piece of work. Cavill and Adams have a great chemistry. They just have a great beauty and elegance to them on the screen. Amy Adams does a great Lois Lane, and she just has this, she has this compassion, this humanity, but she's also this dogged, determined kind of character that embodies the spirit of Lois Lane, that aggression, that assertiveness. She's going to be a strong woman, and she's not a damsel in distress. She is very integral to the plot. She's very involved in what's going on when Zod comes and there's this invasion thing, and there's a lot of different elements that Superman has to work with humanity to battle this large-scale threat where there's like a dozen or two different Kryptonians that have all the same powers, strengths, and vulnerabilities that he has. So you couldn't just throw down with all of them, but still there's great action in here. This film has solid, evenly paced action. It's got a lot of throw down, drag out, knock down, drag out stuff that this is probably what the kind of stuff that you would have saw in Superman 2 if they had the effects technology to do with, where people just getting knocked around all over the place, creating this mass destruction. And even the climax of this film is fantastic. It's kind of a two-tiered climax where, first off, you got Superman and humanity kind of trying to destroy this terraforming device which is going to wipe out humanity that Zod has unleashed on Earth to create the new Krypton. Because this whole thing is about preserving the Kryptonian race, protecting it, and bringing it back to fruition. But it requires the destruction of humanity and Earth and everything. So you got this great, fantastic, dynamic action scene where the whole world is in jeopardy, but then there's this second one where you got Superman versus Zod, and frankly, climax of the Avengers be damned, this thing is the big blockbuster title fight of the fucking decade. Zod and Superman just tear apart Metropolis all over the fucking place, just banging and slamming through walls and skyscrapers up and down throughout the whole city. It just knocked down, drag out all the fucking way. And this was great. This was great action. Zack Snyder just knows how to do action, and he's a great visual filmmaker. This guy creates a beautiful style that's much different from the stuff he's done before. Different than Watchmen, different than 300, but it's still this great depth and emotional visual style to this film that even the director of photography has never done anything like this, and it just comes out and just is beautiful, elegant, wonderful looking film. And Hans Zimmer's score on this thing is powerful, it's magnificent, it's just reflects Superman in every possible way. Obviously, I bought this soundtrack, and of course it comes in the limited edition comes in a steelbook case. Fantastic. This is a magnificent score. It's hard to follow up John Williams. That iconic theme has endured for 30 years, but he put that aside. He got that out of his mind, and he heard the sound that this film needed to have. It was not going to be this John Williams thing, which is still fantastic, still brilliant. But for the tone of this film, Hans Zimmer puts together a score that is just unbelievably fantastic and remarkable, and just it hits all the emotional, majestic, dramatic beats everywhere. And obviously, one last thing I gotta say is that General Zod in this film, Michael Shannon also has big shoes to fill. Terrence Stamp created an iconic villain way back when, but he just like Hans Zimmer, put all that aside. Didn't think about it. He created Zod from the ground up, built him up, and the way they create the character who does have motivation, does have substance, does have depth, does have a reason for doing what he's doing. It creates this fiercely determined villain that's just like, this guy is bad fucking ass. Zod is just, oh, this guy is merciless, he's ruthless. He's just cutthroat in every way. He wants to manipulate kal-el and get what he wants from him, and if he's got to kill everyone on the fucking planet to get what he wants, he's gonna fucking get it. And you can see that just like this film, the more I talk about it, the more excited I get about it. I plan to see this thing again tomorrow after I get a nice solid night's rest. I can enjoy it in the most relaxed, rested, fully charged way. And I think, even though there's some things where I feel like the film could have taken a few more minutes to just have a little bit more moments of reflection and build up character a little bit more before I really kind of jumped into that Zod plot where he makes that transmission all across the world demanding kal-el show himself and turn himself over. I still think that this is a great starting block, a great solid foundation for this thing to go off. They've already greenlit a Man of Steel sequel, and I think there's a lot of places that they can still go, still develop Superman, Clark Kent. They still have places to go. They at the end of the film, they have gotten to a place where it feels more familiar. We got Clark at the Daily Planet, and Superman as this accepted hero and protector of the world, where you can go off and expand the universe more, create this DC cinematic universe, and maybe a couple of cameos or something from a hero or something in the sequel. Just expand the ideas more, expand the world, expand the universe, so you can create this big epic rival universe to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think Man of Steel, despite people lashing out a lot of negativity out there, I don't know what they're expecting, I don't know what their feelings are. I'm trying to avoid looking at that negativity. I want to focus on the positive, because Superman is a positive icon. He's about hope, he's about inspiration, about inspiring people to things that are greater than they think they can achieve. And Man of Steel is a film that I think encapsulates those core quality elements of Superman. Henry Cavill does a great job embodying those aspects. And I think Man of Steel is a great modern version of Superman that takes all the core classic elements, things that pay tribute to the things that have made him an icon all these years, and gives a more modern spin, something that's more fresh, something that's more relatable, something that's more realistic while still having those fantastic, amazing qualities to it. And I think Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan, Henry Cavill, Hans Zimmer, everyone involved should be very impressed, very proud of what they've done here, because I think, even though it's not perfect, it's a strong, solid foundation that they can springboard off of and expand things in a great way with the already greenlit Man of Steel sequel, and hopefully we'll eventually get that Justice League movie. So you can go below in the description, get the link to the written review, hit the like button, subscribe button, post some comments, interact as much as possible, share the links around. I very much appreciate all that stuff. And not everyone's going to agree with every opinion that I have, but I do enjoy having that interaction and people sharing their thoughts in a very civilized manner. So, because this internet can be a very uncivilized place at times, but I like to have that professional courtesy, that candor, that honest respect and everything. So if you want to go ahead, post some comments, go ahead. I very much appreciate it. So that's all I got for you. Before we go rambling on, that's all I got to say about Man of Steel, and as obviously highly recommended by me. So that's all I got. I'll see you next time. Later.